up, everybody? My name is Emmy, and welcome back to Chats with the Freak. I have Greg from Swim the Current today. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm driving right now. Everyone's roads are a little busy for the holidays, but it's all good. It's all good. How have the holidays been treating you, man?
Holidays are good so far. I mean, I'm a dude, so I'll wait till the last minute to do my Christmas shopping. I mean, that's how it goes, but I get it done.
I relate to that. Maybe I'm like secretly a dude, like because like I have that same mindset of like, oh, I'll get it. It'll be fine.
Exactly. So like, what I did was I'm buying for two people, for my mother and for my sister. So I bought them like these tiny miniature Christmas trees that are like wrapped in burlap. And I'll probably like stuff like within the Christmas trees like a gift, like a Christmas card or a gift card. And whatever. I'm gonna buy my mom like an emu, and my sister I'll probably buy her like maybe like a cat or something like that, because they're like animal lovers. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I recently found out that at my like day job, I'm a cook, and they gave us all gift cards for the holidays, which I didn't know until like yesterday. So I'm like going at it in our gift shop, buying Christmas gifts for everybody.
Oh, that's cool. So like you're going crazy on that, and that's good. I'll tell you what. I mean, it seems like you have it together on that.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, oh, last minute, I got this. Like, my work hooked me up with a free gift card. Like, let's do this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, gift cards are great. I mean, they go a long way. You can buy gas. You can buy whatever. You can buy a new lawnmower if you want. I mean, we're not going to cut grass.
Yeah, get whatever you want.
Why not,
Right. I totally agree. So, man, you just released Red Desert, which when I first read it, I thought it was Red Dessert. I'm not going to lie. And I had this whole thing. I was going to, like, rag on you a little bit about it, but I was like, oh, it's Red Desert. I'm a dumbass. So,
I love it.
Can you tell me a little bit about the track now that I know that it's a desert, not dessert?
Well, hopefully, hopefully, like, phonetically, I spelled it correctly. I mean, I'm not like a genius or a wizard when it comes to, spelling things correctly, but, yeah.
Oh, neither am I. Clearly, I can't read, so.
I'm the same way. Welcome to America right now. We're good.
America!
No, America's good. Let's make it. The thing is, like, this is have. It's about, the song is about, relationships, the upward, downward spirals of everything that happens within. Like a roller coaster effect. I mean, some people go through.
I can't hear you, man.
Okay, some people go through the upward and downward spirals of, like, emotion through, relationships. But, other than that, some relationships are, cohesive, correct, great. And, I try to find a balance in between that, but as far as the song is concerned, it's about, like, the breakup and the emotions that happened, like, through relationships.
That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, I listened to the track. It had a really good vibe to it. It kind of gave me a little bit of a Chevelle feel. I don't know if that's what you were really going for.
Right on,
but I dug it.
Oh, well, I thank you. I mean, I try to go for that, like, emotional, dark, centrifugal feel of, like, what music is about. I want to go with the flow of music and just feel it as I go. Big chords, big chorus, just great composition all in between. I'm not like a light, bright Encyclopedia Britannica guitar player. I don't like to show off on my guitar. I mean, if you were to put me like in a guitar clinic, that would never happen, because I use, or actually not use, but I feel that like when I play my guitar, I use it as a creative device just to portray what I'm about.
Right. You're not really like a shredder or one of those people that you're not necessarily like a Zach Wild or something like that. Like you want to be more of a kind of more like an AC/DC kind of person in a way. I know that kind of sounds weird, but I feel like they had more of they weren't really shredders, but they wanted to use their instruments to kind of portray what they were wanting to portray rather than somebody like a Zach Wild. There's nothing wrong with that, but like a shredder like that.
I would say absolutely, only because that's what comes out of me for when I sit down and I play my instrument, you know, within my abilities as well. I mean, what comes out of me, you know, what comes out of my soul and my heart. And, you know, and that's what I would like to portray. Heavy, but dark, but bright. Kind of like, you know, one of my huge influences, which would be the Deftones, which would be Handsome, which would be Quicksand, Failure. They have depth, they have perception, they have everything involved within, and that's what I grew up on, and that's what comes out of me.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I love the Deftones. Now that you said that, I can kind of hear that a little bit in the track for sure. So, how did you get into being such a big fan of the Deftones? I'm kind of curious about that because I've never talked to someone I can recall that's like, yes, the Deftones are like my favorite band.
Well, many years ago, you know, when the Deftones were, you know, broadcasted, I guess, through like the national airwaves or what have you. I mean, I took to it right away. I said, oh my God, you know what? These guys are great. I mean, just how they look at music, how they break it down, how they portray. And Stephen Carpenter is one of my heroes. I mean, he's very simple. He just plays his instrument. He's not a flashy guy. But to be creative in that sense, it actually is very hard. Because you're not like, you know, looking to showy or what, you know, what it comes down to. It comes down to like what you're into and what comes out of you. And they're just a huge influence on me.
Yeah, no, I get that. I totally agree because I feel like, I'm not going to say everybody, because shredders are talented no matter who you look at in that aspect. They're all very talented. But it takes a certain kind of musician to be able to not want to show off their skills and not show off their skills, but not like go out there and want to be like, hey, look at me and just do awesome rhythmic stuff like that.
Well, you know what? I agree with that. You know what? And like the way I break it down as the years go on, you know, people just play what they play. They feel what they feel, and they put out what they put out. You know, and they're loving the gift of music, and that's basically what it's all about. It comes out from within. You know what I mean? Like another huge influence on me is a man by the name of Joe Guerreri.
Okay.
Anybody ever heard of the Joe Guerreri Project? He's great. He's one of my huge idols. He's one of my favorite guitar players I've ever met in my life. I love that guy. He's great. So he played a huge influence on me as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So while we're talking about influences and stuff like that, usually I find that musicians either have a aha moment when they're growing up and kind of like, oh, this is what I wanted to do, and this is when I realized it. Or some of them, it was just something that they always kind of did. So did you kind of have like an aha moment that this was something you wanted to pursue music, or was it more of just it was something you always did?
The aha moment would be within my immediate family, everyone is a musician. So from a very young age, all my cousins, my uncles, everybody played a musical instrument. So perhaps it was destiny, who knows, but it was, you know, written within the cards, so to speak, that, you know, I would play an instrument. And this dates back to at a very young age, probably about 7 or 8 years old, when I would visit my grandmother in Secaucus. She had this organ in her basement, and in between like family visits, I would play the organ and come up with, just like some, 8-year-old, whatever, coming out of an 8-year-old mind, cool, in my mind, to this day, I still can hear it in my mind. Some cool, like, transitions here and there. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. I love it. And that's where it all started on this little organ that was in my grandmother's basement. And then as the years went on, my older brother played the drums. My younger brother, who is a phenomenal drummer, he's a savant, I believe, in my mind. My younger brother and I, we were in many, many bands growing up in my hometown when we moved down to the Jersey Shore. And, we just kept on playing and playing. I mean, music is a process, and, you develop as you go along. And it's something that can't be lost. It's fun.
Right. I totally agree with that, and that's awesome. I as well, like when I was growing up and stuff, my mom had this old organ that used to be in our living room, so that's kind of cool. I can kind of relate to that. That's awesome.
Very cool.
So Swim the Current seems to kind of be like a new-ish project. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it's current.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I was right on that. So, what other? I noticed that you have been in a couple different bands and stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about some of your previous projects?
Yes. I mean, Disciples of Verity, that was created from George Pond and I. We created, Disciples of Verity. We spent many, many hours down in his studio, just, creating music and like trying to get it all together. And, I started with that. Actually, I give credit to George Pond because he got me back into music because I put down the guitar for 13 years. So, I put it down and I moved back to the Jersey Shore, and he gave me a call and I said, you know what? Yeah, let's create something. And, we started with that. And then, as I was going through the process within that, I was receiving many phone calls from, other musicians that, I basically reconnected with me. And I was all over the place at that point. I was jamming with everyone, which is very cool. I mean, I was very honored, that people were calling me. So, here we are. I'm honing my skills once again. But in between, as far as Swim the Current is concerned, this is something that always it was always within me to be a solo performer or artist. I mean, I have many, many songs that I do do by myself in my 10 by 16 little home that I live in, which is cool. I live in a tiny home, and this is something that I want to do and put out for myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I'm bringing you up to date on a journey that, with is in the making, up into the present day of Swim the Current.
Yeah, that's cool. It's actually kind of funny. I just interviewed George the other day for my podcast as well, so that very small world it is. But that's really cool. So you got the new song out, obviously, Red Desert. So
Yeah.
Is that going to be a part of an album or an EP or anything like that?
It's going to be an EP. I mean, that's the way I designed it. The way it's broken down would be, it's going to be recorded in between two studios. The first studio is GoreGrin Studios in Toms River. A great friend of mine, Jay, who's an awesome metal engineer, drummer, guitar player. He does everything. He's a savant. So I go to him, and then I bounce it back and forth in between another studio in Manahawkin, New Jersey. It's called Bible Sound Studios. Charlie Berezensky, who is the singer, guitar player for the band Vexus, who does, a lot of my stuff as well. So, I'm bouncing it back and forth. And also, too, the way I'm keeping it fresh for Swim the Current is precisely this. I perform all the instruments, and I have a different singer who is focused on, or the starlight of the performance for each song that is recorded.
That's really cool. That's awesome. I'm really excited to hear this album, man. I think that's really interesting and really cool, like a cool concept.
Yes, and I agree. I mean, again, I want to try something new, something fresh, and also to my bass player from my heavy metal band, Slave Revolt. His name is Chris. He actually films all my videos. And Joe, who is the production manager for Second Sight Videos, for Second Sight Music Videos, he is the guy who directs all the videos as well. So I'm involved and I'm around very good people, and I, pretty much amassed a very good team of people who are going to be, involved within all of, of my endeavors.
That's awesome. Yeah, you seem to have a really good crew. You seem to have a really clear vision on what you're doing, and I really like that. So, we're getting to the end of 2019, going into 2020. What do you think next year holds for Swim the Current?
That's a good question. I think that if I can just keep streamlining videos and like music and putting out songs as singles and what have you, and also working with Allison from Tag Publicity, who is remarkable.
She's fantastic. I love her so much.
She is great. I'm so happy to be on the roster of Tag Publicity. She is number one in my book. As far as 2020 is concerned, I want to keep working with Tag Publicity, keep putting out very, very good videos and very good heavy, dark, and emotional songs that capture the hearts of people. And also, too, I want to inspire people through what I do as far as music in my little 10 by 16 little tiny home that I live in. I love it. I come up with all my, best stuff here, and I bring it to my studios, and it's recorded, in real time for the masses, and I just want to put it out there. I just want to inspire people. That's it. That's all I want to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really inspiring. I love that. I feel like if you're in the music industry, for anything other than to, like, share your art and inspire people, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Well, you know what? And that's what it's all about. I mean, after all these years, I remember as a younger person with no business sense or what have you, oh, yeah, cool, I just want to play music, man. Well, guess what? That's not what it's all about. I'm a little bit older now, and I get it. I just want to make music, and I want people to listen to it and just, feel it. I want you to feel the music and have fun with it. I don't want you to necessarily, like, learn, the riffs that are played. I just want you to just take it in, feel it, and just be like, wow, man, you know what? That's pretty cool. That's a different spin on things. That's emotional. That's great. It's in the pocket.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, it's been great talking with you today. I really appreciate you taking time to come on my podcast with me. So everyone go check out Red Desert by Swim the Current. It's a pretty cool jam, and thanks again to Greg for taking time for talking with me today.
Thanks. I appreciate you taking my time.
Thanks for listening in on another episode of Chats with the Freak. I hope to catch you next Freaky Friday.